Yeah, good morning, Miss. You can start this class today. Thank you.
Just a minute, I want to share my PPT. Yeah, I'm sure my PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, Miss.
All right. Thank you very much. So my name is Fanny Chatola. I'm a lecturer at DMI St. John the Baptist University, Malawi, and I teach computer science. So the topic that I'm having today is ethics in social media and online behavior. So I come up with this topic just because, as we know, internet has become my self-publishing area where everyone can publish everything. So people can do businesses, schools, entertainment. So there's also need for us to understand these ethics so that we can behave responsibly on the internet. So the subtitle about this topic is Understanding the Responsible Digital Citizenship. So in this topic, I'll take you through the introduction of digital ethics, as well as the key principles of digital ethics. We are going to see the respect, privacy, integrity, as well as accountability as the key principles of digital ethics. Then I'm also going to see the case studies as well as the best practices for ethical online behavior and some questions. Okay, now let's proceed to the introduction to digital ethics. So what is digital ethics? So digital ethics refers to the study and application of ethical principles in the context of online interaction and social media usage. As I've already said, that internet has become a broad thing or something where people, they do their daily work or daily lives. We can talk of education, businesses, or the way we are interacting here. So we also need to understand these ethics or principles whenever we're trying to interact with others online or on social media. So why is digital ethics important? So with the pervasive influence of social media, so ethical behavior online is crucial for maintaining trust, privacy, respect, among others. So, everyone can just post anything there. So there's a need for us to have these ethics so that we should maintain the trust, the privacy, as well as the respect among each other or among users. Then now looking at the key principles of digital ethics. So we are going to see them in four. So they're in four groups. So we have respect, privacy, integrity, and accountability. So what do you mean if we say respect? So respect is simply means you treat others with respect and kindness. So the way we do in our daily lives, like you greet someone, you treat someone with respect, same applies when you're doing that online or maybe on social media. We also need to treat someone with respect and kindness. Then we talk about privacy. So privacy is also one of the key principles of digital ethics, where we need to protect personal as well as others' information. So it's not okay that we should disclose others' information. So there's a need for us to protect our personal information as well as others' information. Then integrity. So on the integrity, you have to be honest as well as transparent when you are doing what? Online activities. Then we have accountability. So accountability, we need to take responsibilities for our actions and their impact on others. So whenever we are on the social media, we're doing our own things, so we have to be accountable with our actions. So we are going to see these key principles in detail. So I'll give examples on respect, privacy, integrity, as well as accountability. So on the respect, so we need to respect others online. So how are we going to respect others? So by avoid bullying. So we do not supposed to engage in or tolerate harassment or hate speech or threats. So whenever online, we need to avoid this. We need to respect each other. We should avoid this harassment or saying hate speech about someone or threatening someone. So we need to be mindful about this. Someone can sue us about this, that this kind of person is harassing me or is bullying me. We can arrest you for that. So we need to avoid bullying. Then diverse opinions. So this is under respect. So whenever online, we need to respect different viewpoints, as well as we need to engage in constructing dialogue. So whenever online, we need to respect different viewpoints from others. So, for example, maybe you're on TikTok or on Facebook, there's saying something there, about discussing something, or someone has sent a point. So you need to respect that person's viewpoint instead of you bullying or saying mean things about that person. So whenever online, we need to respect different viewpoints. Then on the respect again, you also need to have empathy. So empathy here, you need to understand and consider the feelings of others before posting or commenting. Okay, so whenever we are online, we need to consider this because it's the same as we interact in a physical way. So we need to respect each other, or we need to consider others' feelings before we post something or comment. So this is very important. Then another key principle of digital ethics, I mentioned about privacy. So privacy here, we're going to see examples. So we have personal information. So I explained that we need to be mindful whenever online, you do not need to share personal information or personal details. So for example, maybe you have shared a certain personal detail about someone. Okay, so what if some people took that information or maybe trying to do bad things about that person? So we need to be mindful and caution about sharing the personal details online. Then on the privacy, also need to know the permissions. So whenever you want to share information about someone or maybe a photo, we need to be mindful, always seek permission before sharing that particular information. So what if that person sue you for that? Okay, so we need to be mindful whenever sharing information or sharing some photos or videos. Okay, we need to seek permission first before we share the information. Then data security. So on the data security, as one of the privacy, we also need to use strong passwords whenever when we want to enable a factor authentication to protect your accounts. So for example, on Facebook, you're supposed to create an account. So you're supposed to put passwords. So don't just put obvious passwords. At least you put passwords that are very strong so that maybe your phone is storing, maybe something has happened to your phone, you can be able, or no one can be able to log into your account. So also need to be mindful about this. Then proceeding to integrity as one of the key principles of digital ethics. So here on the integrity, we have authenticity. So authenticity simply means you're supposed to share original content and give proper credit to what? To sources. So for example, you have taken information about someone. Okay, maybe someone has already posted that particular information. So for you just stating that information or maybe changing some things or putting some lies to it, so it's not okay. So you need to share the original content and proper credit to the sources. Don't change anything because it can lead to something else. Then another example under integrity, we have fact checking. So fact checking, so verify information before sharing to prevent the spread of misinformation. So same as authenticity. So on the fact checking, we also need to what? To verify information before sharing to prevent the spread of what? Of misinformation. So some people, they might choose to lie about someone. So for example, I noticed on TikTok, some people, they were spreading rumors about that one of the celebrities has died, but yet he was not dead. So you can see like it caused like a panic on the social, like, how is it possible? The person is still alive. Why are you saying that the person is dead? What if that person sue you? So also be mindful that whenever you're logging in on the internet or on the social media, we have to know that the service providers, they have our logins. So we should not think that we are unknown or obscurity. So we have to be mindful about this. So fact checking, we need to verify the information before sharing to prevent the spread of misinformation. Then transparency. So transparency here simply means we should not disclose any operations or conflict of interest on your on your post. So this is simply means it's the practice of what? Of disclosing information about how data is collected or used and what? And protected. So we need to be transparent on the social media. Then another key principle of digital ethics, I talked about accountability. So in the accountability, we're also going to see what is supposed to be done in the accountability and consequences. So the first thing is the responsibility. So on the internet or social media, so you own your online actions and understand their potential and what? Its impact. So you have to be responsible whenever you're online or social media. So you need to think before you post anything, before you comment anything there. So you have to ask yourself some questions. Is this true? Or is this helpful? Or is this inspiring? Or is it necessary? Or is it kind? So we need to be responsible whenever we are on this social media. Then consequences. So we also need to be aware of legal and social repercussions for unethical behavior. So we also need to be aware of the consequences. So whenever anything that we're doing bad on the internet, so we can be sued for that. So we need to be aware of those legal and social repercussions for unethical behavior on social media. Then positive influence. So positive influence, use your online presence to promote positive and constructive content. So you can see nowadays we can talk of different social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok. Some people, they just post there some videos or photos which are not even constructive or positive. Okay, so we need to influence by promoting positive and constructive content instead of just going there and doing things that are not even meaningful, things that are negative, that will bring necessities. So we also need to be mindful whenever on social media, so that we should influence this positivity. Yeah, so by reaching this, these are the key principles of what digital ethics. So the examples and why we are supposed to do this. So now let's look at the case study. So this case study is I've taken reference to Malawi. So this case study is about the Harsh Defeat Malaria campaign. So in 2022, the Malawian Ministry of Health, in collaborating with the World Health Organization and UNICEF, so they launched this campaign, which is the Harsh Defeat Malaria campaign, on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So the company aimed to raise the awareness about malaria prevention and encourage the use of treated nets, and promote timely medical treatment. So this company basically was there to help with the defeat of malaria here in Malawi. So they launched their company when they were on the social media. So, for example, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So let's look at the ethics, considerations, and implementation that this company used. So the first one was transparency and honesty. So the companies, they maintain the transparency by providing the accurate and evidence-based information about malaria prevention and treatment. And the company also included some statistics on malaria incidents, the benefits of insecticides, nets, and also personal stories from malaria survivors to humanize the data. Then another ethical is also used privacy and consent. So the company there, they make sure that whenever they want to share a story on social media, so first of all, they could reach out to the person if they can take the authorization that they can post their the pictures, or they can post their stories. So the company also maintained this privacy as well. They was sent from the people. And another thing was the cultural sensitivity. So as you know, it was dealing with the country, Malawi. So they also need to consider this cultural sensitivity, since in Malawi we have different kinds of cultures. So they come up with this understanding difference of our cultural landscape of Malawi. So that they also provide languages, a native language about Malawi, so that the information should reach to everyone, since some people, they don't understand maybe other languages. So there's a need of cultural sensitivity, and also the use of symbols and everything, so they could consider all of these things. And another thing was the inclusivity and accessibility. So the company could utilize the multiple social media platforms, formats, including the text, images, videos. They also collaborated with local influencers and the community leaders who had a strong presence and trust within the various communities, enhancing the reach and impact the messages. So basically, the company was including these leaders that have the strong presence, so that they should help the people spreading the message, so that they should have trust that this company can be the source that they can reach out to defeat this malaria. Another thing was engagement and interaction. So the company was active enough to engage by encouraging users to share their experiences and tips on malaria prevention, as well as they could head an online question and answer questions with the health experts, allowing the public to ask questions as well as receive immediate or reliable answers. So this also helped them. Then another one was monitoring and evaluation. So the company was extending to monitor and the evaluate phases where the company would continuously assessing its impact and adjustment strategies based on the feedback and data. So these were the ethics considerations of this #defeat company, which they implemented. Now let's look at the impact and outcomes based on these ethics. So by looking at those ethics, we can see that it increased the what? The awareness, since we have seen that the company was what? Transparency, there was honesty, there was privacy, there was cultural sensitivity, there were including the leaders engaging, interacting, as well as monitoring and evaluating. So by doing that, it also increased the what? The awareness about this prevention of what? Prevention of malaria. And also, you can also see the behavior change. So the surveys conducted post-company indicated a positive shift in what? Behavior, with the more household reporting the constant use of what? Insecticides, nets, and seeking what? Prompt medical treatment for malaria what? Symptoms. So by coming with these ethics, you can see that there was a change that people, they started want to use these what? Nets, so that they can help them for the prevention of what? Malaria. Then we have community involvement. So based on the ethics, I've also explained about it. So they were including the communities, the stakeholders or maybe in churches or businesses, so that they could correct the effort of combat toward malaria. So these were the impact and outcomes of those ethics for #defeat malaria company. That was the case study. It's a positive case study. So let's look at the negative case study. So this one, it's about another example here in Malawi. So it's about the rumor of a presidential assassination attempt. So this one is a negative one. So in 2020, a widely circulated rumor on social media claimed that there has been an assassination attempt to Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera. So this rumor spread rapidly on platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. So it caused the spread panic and confusion among the public. So you can see it's a very bad one. We're talking about the president here. So this assassination, it caused what? Panic here in Malawi, as people are confused. Okay, people are worrying what will happen to our country, what has happened to the president. So this is what happened. Now let's look at the ethical issues involved on this case. So the first ethical issue was misinformation and fake news. So you can see that the lying of this information, it caused what? Panic to the nation. So the rumor was also baseless, yet it spread like a wildfire, demonstrating the power and danger of what? Of misinformation and social media. And also this fake news also determines trust in legitimate news sources, creates unnecessary fear and anxiety among the public. So you can see that people, they can lose trust about it. So just think that why are they lying about the president? Okay, we're talking about a president, someone who is having more power. Okay, so it caused this a lot of panic. Then also public panic and social disruption. So the rumor led to significant public panic. So people were worried about the potential instability as well as the virus that could follow such as incidents. Okay. So the social media role is in spreading these rumors demonstrated the lack of what? This possibility among users who shared the information without what? Verifying the authenticity. Yeah, so we can see that it causes the what? The public panic as well as the social disruption. Then harm to reputation and trust. So since it was the fake news, so the false assassination attempt, it also damaged the reputation of what? Of individuals and entities, so including the president and his administration. Because you're talking about the president, so just talk about the president, so they can cause a lot of panic, and also people they lose trust. Like there's some people who are responsible to check out on that, and why did they allow that this fake news should just spread like that? So it led to harm and reputation as well as the trust. Then another thing was the privacy violation. So how is the privacy what violated here? So it was what? The unethical behavior exposing the person details that what consent further or aggravated the situation. So you can see the line about what? The president here. So you can see that the privacy of the president was what? Already since the lying about him. So the president is also a human being like any of us. So it lead to what? Unverified personal information as well as the unethical behavior to the what person what did. So what was the impact on the consequences of this false rumor? So the consequences was public reaction. So since it was the fake rumor, so the rumor caused a widespread fear as well as uncertainties. Okay, so people are worried and people are thinking different thoughts, like why a president is dying, what will happen to the country. Okay. Another thing was the government responsible. So the government had to issue multiple statements to calm the public and debug the rumors. So you can see that the government also spent money just to calm the people. Okay, so they had to go to social media to spread this information so that the people they should be calm. But this information was false. Another thing was long-term what effects. So with the incident highlighted, so the need for better digital literacy among the population is critically evaluated. Critically evaluate the information they encounter online. So there is a need of what better digital literacy among population. So it's not good that if you just wake up and just going online or any social media platform, then posting fake news. So we also need to be aware and also need to be educated about this. Because you can see it can cause a lot of panic, or maybe you can be arrested about it, or maybe you can violate a right of a particular person. So we need to be mindful about the consequences or the impact whenever we are lying or spreading the false information on internet. So this was the negative example of what a case study which happened. Then let's look at the best practices for ethical online behavior. So based on the key principles of digital ethics, so now let's look at these best practices. So we need to think before we post anything. So let's be mindful before we do anything online, because it's a place where we think that we are known. Okay, just because we're in a phone, maybe we are using a laptop, so we think that maybe you're unseen. So I've said that the service providers, they have the login so they can trace anyone or maybe arrest you for that. Okay. So I also have an example of a certain guy here in Malawi who was posting bad pictures about the president. So he thought that maybe by posting that he was unknown, maybe he thought that maybe he wouldn't be found. So, unlikely enough, he was arrested for that. So we need to be mindful and think before we post anything online. Then another practice, we need to educate ourselves. So by educating ourselves, we have to understand these ethics so that we should be responsible and we should have the best practice whenever we are interacting with others online. We also need to lead by example. So we need to demonstrate ethical behavior to influence others positively. So it has to start with us. So if there's no one who is leading by example, everyone just there doing their own thing, we're not respecting each other. Okay, so let's lead by example. Let's start with us by leading example by providing this positivity online. So by coming to conclusion, let me just say that ethical behavior in social media and online interaction is crucial for maintaining trust, respect, integrity in the digital world. So by adhering to ethical principles, individuals and organizations can contribute to a safer and more respectful and more trustworthy online environment. So if we do this, we can create a good environment where it be friendly, environment where you feel safer, environment where you feel respected, environment where you be in a private. Okay, so by reaching this far, if you have any questions, comment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for our participant, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Yeah, we will wait 3 minutes, miss. Still waiting student are waiting the question.
Thank you. So no questions?
Yeah, just a moment, miss.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, Miss. We have two.
Can you unmute your mic? I can't hear anything.
Yeah, good morning. We have two questions from participant already right in the room chat. This
Okay.
is visible from your side.
Let me check.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, for first question, we have question from Mr. Abdullah. Social media algorithms are known to personalize content and create echo chamber. How can individual ethically navigate this algorithm to ensure they are exposed to diverse viewpoint and limit the spread of misinformation online? Thank you.
Content in print chambers. How can individuals?
Yeah, nothing next.
Okay, I'm reading the questions. Six.
Yes. Yeah, the question already right in the room chat, Miss. It's if my voice not clear.
I'm reading the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
The
think
first question
yeah.
is okay, so the first question was social media algorithms are known to personalize content and create echo chambers. So how can individuals ethically navigate these algorithms and ensure that they are exposed to diverse viewpoints and limit the spread of misinformation online? Okay, so navigating social media so ethically, so we need to ensure uh, the exposure of what, the race of what, viewpoints, and the limiting the spread of what, misinformation. So by doing this, there's some involvement or proactive steps that you need to follow, or strategies as individuals that we need to add to follow. So we have the diversify your what, your sources. So first of all, you need to diversify your what, your sources. So you follow the rate of accounts. So by intentionally follow people and organizations that represent different what perspectives. So including those you may not naturally agree with. So this can also include different political, cultural, or social what viewpoints. And also use of what multiple what platforms. So this can also engage with the multiple social media platforms as each has different what algorithms and also user bases, which can help provide a more balanced what view. Another strategy that you can use is the critical evaluation of what of content. So you can verify information. So before sharing or believing any piece of information, so we need to what to verify it. So verify it if whether it's sensational or emotionally what changed. And also you need to examine the sources. So you look at the original what sources of information and assess the what credibilities. And also you also have to have in mind understanding the algorithm awareness. So you understand the algorithm by learning how social media algorithms works. So knowing that the algorithms prioritize engagement or often showing the content that provokes strong reactions, or also that can help you to consciously choose what to engage with. And also to customize your feed. So use the available tools to adjust your feeds preferences or many platforms that can allow you to see less of certain what types of content or from specific sources.
Yeah, thank you. And
Then
the second question.
the second question, I think that deepfakes, which are manipulated videos that can make it appear as if someone is saying or doing something they never did, are becoming increasingly sophisticated. What are ethical applications or defects on social media, and how can platforms be held accountable for the spread of this type of misinformation? So defects pose significant ethical changes and applications for social media platforms and societies at large. So there's need for some main ethical concerns and potential measures that are supposed to hold these platforms accountable. Okay, so what are these ethical obligations that can be used in defects or on social media? So we have misinformation and deception. So other misinformation and deception have political manipulations. So these defects can be used to manipulate public opinions by creating fake speeches or actions. So what I've explained on the key principles, okay? So by following those key principles, the privacy, integrity, accountability, respect, I think those can help in this what defects what social media. And also erosion of trust, privacy violation. So false information can lead to public panic, as I've already explained there. And also privacy violation. So defects can be used to create implicit content without the consent of individuals involving, leading to several privacy violation and psychological harm. So we need to follow those keyword digital principles to avoid these deep word fakes. And also, if you have encountered such kind of scenario, you can also report. Okay, you can report to the police or anyone to assist you with these problems. So basically, we need to understand these ethics or digital principles that can help for the prevention of these deep fakes. So it's the responsibility of everyone that we need to understand this social media ethics so that we should prevent such kind of scenarios. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think it's very clear answer from Professor. Before I close this event for our participant, please open your camera. We will take a picture on the count of three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, number 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of this lecture today. We would like to thank you for Miss Fanny for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for our participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future with them EST John the Baptist University, Malawi. The physical lecture for today and here, your appreciation. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you for Miss Fanny.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.